It's Tuesday, November 14th. I don't even know what day it is anymore, but we're at our last day at the Modern Retailing Conference, having a lot of great conversations, a lot to talk about in the future. But today, we're talking about workers winning, dirty coming clean, and is Google Apple's sugar daddy? Never thought I'd utter that one.
This is
Some of the phrases.
This is the fun part about recording podcasts on a beach. We have no clue whether or not you nailed the audio on that, right? Like with the intro, but it's okay.
It felt okay.
Yeah.
It felt okay. And like, if you're just listening on the podcast, let's paint the picture for you because you hear it. So let's help you imagine what you're hearing.
Yes.
So we are standing behind us is the Atlantic Ocean and a nice little villa between us and the ocean. So it's also probably about 30-mile-an-hour winds.
It's moving. It's
There's
whipping.
not many people out here, but the one person that decided to get up is the guy running the leaf blower in the background.
Because the wind isn't going to take care of that stuff anyway.
Because that's what he gets paid to do every morning. It's been an awesome time here. We spent a lot of time yesterday with dealers, a ton of time with our industry partner friends.
Yeah. We just went around and I cannot wait to share the videos and the fun things that we did and just hearing what they're experiencing, what they're looking forward to. So watch out for that video because we'll push that out here soon.
We are. We have a few things to talk about today. Number one, Thursday, we have our next ASOTU Edge webinar with our friends at Invoca.
Yeah, Zach Hendricks is going to be leaning in.
He's ready.
He gets real nerdy, real technical, but also just has a super fun personality, and he loves soccer.
I like the real nerdy was the glasses push-up motion.
Yes.
So you can register for that event. We hope you join us. You go to asotu.com. Just scroll down a tiny little bit. We hope you register. Kyle and I will be there. We always have so much fun on these 20 to 30-minute webinars.
Yes.
Different field in the show. We learn a little something. We have some more people, fun transitions. Hope you can join us there on Thursday.
Yeah.
Register now so we can see that you're coming and be ready for you. All right, let's get into some news.
Let's go.
We have some fun things to talk about. So, we do. We're going to start with two labor-related stories that are really just kind of one overarching story. The first is that Stellantis has announced voluntary, what are they calling it? Voluntary buyout packages for 6,400 of it. I mean, how many employees do you have that you can just voluntary buy out 6,400? Just picture that. Of their salaried employees, so they weren't involved in any of the labor contracts. Citing changing market conditions, the move is aligning with their commitment to go like everybody else, gone full EV. So we need to pare down the staff, trim expenses. So in the statement, the company said, and when they released it, they said, as we prepare for the transition to electric vehicles, Stellantis will offer a voluntary separation package to assist non-represented employees who would like to separate or retire from the company to pursue other interests with a favorable package of benefits. That doesn't sound terrible.
I'm sure. It sounds like it was well represented. It was well thought out. There's going to be plenty of benefits. There's probably a ton of severance. I forgot to even add this, but we're here.
Yeah, we are.
Hold on. Sometimes we're like in live production mode. It's going to be okay. So.
That volume button doesn't work.
No volume button. So I'm sure this was handled a lot better than I don't know if you saw Solera dropped a bunch of their employees over Zoom yesterday.
Oh, I did not.
And forgot to mute their mics, and it got a little dicey.
No.
So it seems like Stellantis is handling this a lot better. Obviously, there's been knowledge that this is probably coming in this in what they call, what is it called? Their Dare Forward 2030 strategy, moving to EVs, changing stuff. We'll see what happens.
Yeah, so they are planning on releasing 25 EVs between now and 2030. Obviously, this decision coincides with the UAW voting and all of the things there, which kind of transitions into the second part of the story is that Hyundai announced a 25% wage increase.
Wow.
It's big. For its non-union production workers in its Alabama factory by 2028. This is really following the lead from Toyota and Honda, also not unionized.
Right.
Saying like, hey, we're going to treat you well. We're going to treat you fairly. And meanwhile, like Sean Fain's like,
hey, guys.
Hey, we just did some things over there. We could do them here. So these automakers are trying they're trying to jump ahead and be like, hey, the reason we could do this without all the drama is because we're paying attention.
Exactly.
So, I mean, it's a good strategy for them.
Super smart.
Let the other companies have all the friction, all the tension, all the animosity, and then just come in afterwards be like, we'll match it.
Look, there it is. Yeah.
Because that's the market rate.
So smart.
They established the market rate. Yeah. So I think workers are kind of winning.
Workers are winning right now.
Workers are winning right now.
Well, because there's not enough workers out there, and so you got to pay to keep them.
Yep. Can't use AI to
manufacture
do
a
a
car.
final check on the glass. You know what I'm saying?
Can't do that.
Yeah.
Can't do that. Not at least yet.
All right, our next story. No segue buttons today.
Segue.
So this is an interesting one with a really fun fact at the end. Exxon is aiming to be a leading producer of lithium production. So the oil company now going to be a lithium company by the year 2030, as they announced their plans to start lithium production in just a couple of years by 2027 and produce enough batteries, lithium, for 1 million EVs annually.
Wow.
It's a lot of lithium.
So like half of a manufacturer. No.
It's a lot, though. From one
It
place
is a lot. It is a lot.
that isn't a battery company. Literally. It's not like it's Panasonic.
Well, yeah. So, I mean, I want to get to, because they've got a little bit of long-term strategy on that. So let's read that quote. But I got some thoughts.
Yeah, the quote is, "In the long term, lithium really is a global opportunity," said Dan Amon, president of Exxon's low carbon business unit. He said, "We're starting here," and that here means Alabama.
Yep.
Is actually where they're starting, because there's an urgent need to ramp up domestic production of these materials.
Yeah, and that's important. Without a doubt, we've seen the move to say, hey, we need more of the materials produced here. We need final assembly here. That's important to the government right now. The bigger thing for me here is Exxon saying, okay, look, if we've always been the energy company for transportation, this is just a move to stay the energy company.
Yep.
Instead of being an oil company, we're an energy company. And that's a like, I'm sure the valuation, the energy behind the behind everything
likes that.
changes.
What else are you going to say? It's so funny to watch this contrast against EV demand and what we're actually
what we
seeing.
talked about yesterday.
And you know, exactly, like EV demand falling off a cliff. It's worse than everybody thinks, based on some data that we are privy to.
Yeah.
Here's a fun fact. Blew my mind.
All right, give it to us.
Exxon invented the rechargeable lithium ion battery in the 70s.
Like,
how do we not know that?
How does the world not know that? That's unbelievable.
Ironically, they are not going to be producing charging equipment like there's some competitors like BP and Shell.
Right.
I don't know how this works.
What in the...
It kind of reminds me of like Kodak.
Yes.
Digital photography. Like, oh, we sell film though. We have a film sales business.
Sales business. It's unbelievable.
Yeah, so I don't know, a little fun fact. Do with that what you will.
Speaking of a sales business.
Whoa, this one is mind-blowing.
So if you haven't been following Google's antitrust trial that has been going on for a few weeks at this point, one key factor came out, kind of slipped out yesterday. So
we're trying to keep it under
wraps. That Apple and Google were, just good buddies hanging out, doing search together.
It's a nice in-kind relationship.
It was revealed that that Google pays 36% of all ad revenue that happens in Safari to Apple.
So on your iPhone,
Cha-ching!
when you buy it, Safari's default browser, if you type it in the search, is Google.
Yep.
And every ad dollar that tracks after you log into that, and it goes 36% goes to Apple. That is so. Last year was $18 billion. Last year,
yeah. In 2021, $26.3 billion in total cost to be Safari's default search engine. It's unbelievable what the dollar exchanging hands. A couple quotes from Ryan Shores, the Justice Department senior advisor for tech industries. He says Google's conduct is illegal under traditional antitrust principles and must be stopped. Google owns or controls search distribution channels, accounting for about 80% of general search queries in the U.S. And here's the fun one. According to Bloomberg, when this little fact was revealed about the 36%, Google's lawyer, John Schmidlin, they said he was
threw up in his mouth,
visibly cringed when Murphy said the number.
He's like, oh, my day just got longer.
Well, okay, so we've been talking about this, and I was having a conversation with a dealer yesterday. Like, we look at spending money on Google as spending money on ourselves, but actually they are the largest third-party vendor in automotive. We spend more money as an industry with them than any other third-party vendor combined.
Yeah.
And so to look at this and go, oh, and we're also spending money with Apple, conversely, because 70% of searches right now are being done on mobile. And of that 70%, the majority are iPhones. And so, like, right now, we should be thinking as an industry, like, what are Google and Apple getting of our dollars that are headed toward driving sales?
Whoa. My goodness. I mean, he's having a tough morning, that lawyer, that legal team. But hey, it's like somebody said yesterday, I can't remember what presentation, where they're like, what is Google's number one objective? right?
Yes,
and people read out, and it was like, make money.
That's it.
Google isn't losing money on this one. I guarantee you that.
No,
Neither is Apple. They're pretty smart companies. Well, look, we're going to be going back into Modern Retailing Conference with some pretty smart people. We're going to bring you a bunch of interviews and content that we're picking up with also a bunch of insights and things that are going to kind of like spill into the future. So we hope you have a great day. Love some people more than you love cars, and we will see you bright and early tomorrow.